it's going to be increasingly difficult to discuss monetary policy without addressing fiscal policy. So Brazil is the largest country in South America and the fifth largest in the world. By GDP standards, they also have the eighth largest economy in the world as well. Now, Brazil's central bank chief made some interesting comments about the country recently, so let's deep dive into this. Let's discuss it. Now, before we get started, let me just say that if you like content like this, leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this and hit that thumbs up button for me. Central bankers just recently had a huge conference in Jackson Hole. This is the premier central banker meeting of the year. You have central bankers from all over come in. Obviously, Jay Powell for the United States, his comments made headlines here nationally, but Roberto Campos Neto made some noteworthy comments about Brazil that also made headlines. One thing that he said that caught a lot of people's attention, that it's going to be increasingly difficult to discuss monetary policy without addressing fiscal policy. So government spending, the way that the government debt is going and how much money they're spending, where they're spending it, in order to address monetary policy properly, which is the central bank's job. They want fiscal policy to also be addressed. So, and in Brazil, their benchmark rate is sitting at 10.5%. It hasn't been changed recently, but 10.5% is notably higher than the United States. But in a different country, in order to meet different needs for different people, that is the rate that they currently have. And NATO had some tough rhetoric when discussing how to move forward with things. Basically, he wants more strategic government spending to go on. And this isn't just an issue in Brazil, it's an issue really all across the world. Government spending has increased just at tremendous, almost too much. I made videos recently where I discussed in the United States, our government debt is increasing at about $1 trillion every 100 days right now. Now that's just, just crazy big numbers and almost, really unsustainable if this just goes on and on. Brazil facing similar issues, and as the chief central banker, obviously any comments that he makes, they're gonna hold weight, they're gonna make the headlines. And he wasn't overly critical of the president or the government or anything of that nature, but he basically said that, as a country, in order for us to be healthy, to move forward, yeah, we're gonna set these rates as the central bank, but we really got to address the way that we're spending money. What programs is money going into? Is there somewhere where we could cut back and, spend less? So for the health of the country financially, let's actually address this as we're focusing on monetary policy and what the current rates are. Well, let's also address the spending that we're doing as well. So, but at the same time, central bankers don't always make those type of comments. They're very calculated with what they say, because everything they say gets that's just kind of how it is because of the role that they have. But he kind of didn't hold back. Just, hey, we need to address government spending before things get out of control, and as we try to work on monetary policy, help us out with also addressing this as well. And just for reference, he noted that in Brazil, about 50 million people are gaining money from the government, while 43 million are not. They're working or entrepreneurs and gaining money some other way. And having a country where the majority of the country is dependent on the government in order to, just to make money and for their daily needs, it's a scary position to be in when you have more people that need the government to help them than people that are kind of, adding to the pot. I've said this many times in many different videos. You need big businesses. You need people, bright entrepreneurs, people that are coming up with ideas, starting companies that employ people, that a lot of money gets made, and that money kind of funnels to people that move up in the company. Those people make more, they spend more, new idea. this is how you kind of keep this wheel spinning, keep things going. And but when you have the majority of the country just, I'm not gonna say sitting there, because there's old age, there's health issues, there's poverty. It's more complex than just black and white. But what I'm trying to say is that you need people that are working. You need a young working class. You need bright minds with ideas that are starting businesses, big businesses that employ a lot of people. You need people making good money so they could spend. And this is kind of how you have a healthy, self-sustaining economy. With what he's saying is, we have so many people that are relying on the government just to make ends meet. We're kind of in a scary situation, because if the country ends up being in a tough situation and they have to pull back, well, what's that going to do for the people? These are things that need to be addressed. Now, obviously, in the United States too, you have people that depend on certain government programs to help them to make ends meet. And unfortunately, poverty is a thing that does go on, and you need those type of things, because you can't just let people starve out here in the streets. You need to help poor people, but at the same time, you want a robust middle class. You want people that are moving up and heading towards the upper class. It just doesn't seem like that's what's going on right now. And NATO here just kind of saying, as a country, we need to address the way that we're spending. We need to kind of address things from within, instead of just looking at the big picture monetary policy. Let's kind of, dig in and try to help the country that way. If you like content like this, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this, and hit that thumbs up button for me.